Hi guys, welcome to my half-year journal update on my completed journals. This is a little bit crazy and you can totally tell that we've had a pandemic during this time because there is no other way that I would have got this many journals filled. I was going to do this on a cuter background, but the only way I can work out how to do it is to do it on my floor. So here we are. This isn't going to be in any particular order because honestly I haven't quite got the energy to go and work it out. So we are just gonna get started. So this is a completed personal journal. This was a Moleskine journal. As you can kind of tell from the stickers, I took this to South Korea with me. So I filled that out during this time, and then also my kind of like self-isolation kind of from the return of that trip. So let me just check the dates on this one. So I worked in this from the 1st of March to the 4th of April. And yeah, it's just a Moleskine designed, I think this is like the architecture design or something like that. And then actually this one did come after this. This is again a personal journal. This was a gift. Actually, so was the Moleskine one, that was also a gift. This one just says don't be a drama llama. And this one is massive because I talked about my COVID anxieties in this. And yeah, I think I filled this in about a month. And then the next journal I have to show is this guy. This is a baby Groot journal, and this was kind of like my spirituality journal. So I wrote about like astrology, stuff like that in here. So yeah, I finished that one. And then this is my poetry journal. This is just from the Royal Shakespeare Company. I absolutely love this quote because I'm tiny and I just love it. And this, I just wrote different poems down from other people or poems of my own that I really liked. And then the next one I finished kind of during the lockdowns-esque kind of thing is my 99 Things That Bring Me Joy journal. This was a gift from my nan. I absolutely love it. It does really make you feel good when you look through it. So yeah, I've absolutely loved filling this one in. And then the next one was kind of a homemade junk journal. So this is a witch book. I used to love witch as a child. I didn't want to throw this away, but I didn't have any intention of reading it. So I kind of went through and just with like different pieces of paper, different scraps, postcards and stuff, decorated this, wrote quotes on it, stuff like that. And yeah, it made for a really cute little journal and a nice way of keeping something that maybe I wouldn't have otherwise. And so next up, we've got this journal. This was just a morning pages journal. This was a gift from my aunt and uncle. I just, obviously when all of this kind of came into play, I sat and had a lot of anxiety, I think we all did, and I just used this journal to help me out. And so the next two journals I have to show are just this set of two. This actually was a set of three. I filled one in last year. This is by Bife, I think, or something. This was a gift from my sister, super cute. And in these journals, one was a hand lettering journal. So I just practiced different hand lettering techniques, different pens, that kind of stuff. And then this is where I did some Makaton training. So I just went through and drew different signs out from my Makaton. Oh, my pile's falling over. So this was, I'm so gutted about this, look at this poor spine. But this journal was my first journal of the year. And this was, I started this last year, I believe. But it's come out chunky as per because it's got kind of birthday cards and stuff in it. But yep, so I worked in this for a couple of months, I think about 2 months. I really like it. I'm just gutted that this has happened. And so the next ones I have are both, what's the name gone from my head? Muji journals. I'm just going to show you this one backwards because it has some personal stuff on the front. This I used to talk about work. This was just a work journal. And then this was where I went through and did quotes from NCIS. It took me a while, but it is, yeah, it's a nice little work in progress. And I like the fact that I kind of have weird stuff like that documented that is very specific to this time period. Like I watched a lot of NCIS, so it's really nice to have that kind of documented. Next, I have this journal. I picked this up when I was in South Korea. It just says Dear Spring, and this was a journal I think I was in for a month. Oh, not even that. I started it on the 3rd of May and finished it on the 27th. And it was just a personal journal. I don't know if I said that. So next up we have my first bullet journal of the year. I decided to try Traveler's Notebook style bullet journaling this year, and I really like it. I love how this looks. Yeah, so you can see in this January to April. I've just got various different stickers on it. I just think it looks super cute, and I love this. Really chuffed with it. So then the next journal I finished was this little journal. I picked this up at a zoo. Well, it's not really a zoo, it's like a wildlife park kind of thing. Basically in here I talked about diet, kind of considering going vegan. I haven't gone vegan, but my diet has significantly changed recently, so this was quite nice to have this kind of research and stuff pre-done to help support that kind of change in my diet. And then the next journal I have is this anxiety journal. So this is kind of a workbook more than anything. So there's a lot of reading in it, but there are also some different challenges to do, some exercises. So I completed those, and then I just used the back note pages as kind of a bit of a anxiety journal around the virus. So the next journal I finished is this gorgeous Find Your Voice poetry journal by Norton Ha. I absolutely loved this. This is the most gorgeous journal. It has beautiful collages already in it. I loved the poetry it helped me create. I had really good fun in this, and this was a gift from my boyfriend. And then I finished this really simple food tracker. As I said, I have stomach problems, so I keep food trackers. I just finished this one. Not very exciting, but gotta be done. And then this little notebook I picked up in South Korea. It's just morning pages, nice and simple. And then this is one of the ones I'm most excited about finishing this year. This is my French writing journal. And so basically I would just write in French. It was kind of a personal journal. But this I started back in 2013. So it's really nice that I've kind of come to a close with this. And so the next one is another South Korea pickup. This was just a little time tracker that I picked up from Daiso. And yeah, I tracked my working from home time, because working from home isn't something that's normal to my day-to-day life. So when that happened, it felt I had to adapt to how I was working and I had to schedule my time a lot more. And it's quite cool to be able to look back and see what I was doing with my time. And then I finished this. I say finished, I think I abandoned this in the end, but basically this was where I would write down little meditations. So I find that I can meditate best when I'm focusing on sounds. So this was kind of like a soundtrack. You'd spend 5 minutes listening to just listening to the world around you, and that's kind of how you meditate. I really enjoyed doing that. The reason I kind of just stopped is because I was actively doing it at the same time every day, and the sounds were just continuously the same. Like I would just be reporting the same thing, so it became very repetitive, and I kind of just fell off my enthusiasm with it a bit. So next I have this little Filofax Flex notebook. I believe this was a gift. I think the last one was a gift as well. And basically I just used this for a couple of days between two journals, because it was between like normal life and when I went to South Korea, and I didn't want to start a new journal and then be like 3 pages in and start this massive trip. So I picked up this one for a little bit just to fill that time, and I'm really glad I used it. It's super cute. And then next, this is my mini art journal. So this is inspired by, I can never say this, Miracle Milk. She basically does pocket art journals, and I loved hers. I am less of a fan. I've discovered a lot of this is more just collaging than anything. There are a couple of pages, like I love this page. There's a couple of pages I really liked, but I don't know. I just don't think it was particularly for me. I found that quite often I was saving the better collages for my personal journals and not actively putting things into that journal that I enjoyed so much, so I think I'm just going to save my collages and have them embedded rather than a separate thing. This again is a personal journal. This is a Midori notebook, and these are just some quarantine stickers I picked up, which you the donation went to the the payment went to the NHS. I'll see if I can find the person who made them. I absolutely love them, and I think it just makes such a little cute themed notebook. Like, when else is that going to be something I'd use? And then this notebook is from Pie Fingers on Etsy and Instagram. I absolutely love her work. I have 4 other of her journals. And yeah, this is just another little personal journal. I really liked using these pocket-sized ones recently, I think, because things are so unpredictable and constantly changing. It's nice to have lots of little fresh starts. And then I'll show you both of these together. I finished 5 minutes to a healthier you and 5 minutes in the morning. This one was a gift from one of my close friends, and then I just picked this one up because I loved doing this. And yeah, it's really fun. I really enjoyed the prompts and thinking about them. I completed both of these. At one point I was doing both at the same time, but I finished this one first and then came and finished this one. And so next up we have another personal journal. This again was a gift from my boyfriend. I absolutely love these journals. They're from Paper Chase. I have another one in red. It's just super cute. You can see the quote on the front. I just love that. And yeah, this was just another personal journal. I was in it for probably about a month at the beginning of the year. And then I have this. This was a moody journal, just with the red bubba sticker on the front. And basically I went through my favourite book, which is The Sky is Everywhere by Jandy Nelson, and just went through each chapter, and quotes I liked I just picked up and played around with. Made pretty and stuff like that. I loved doing this, and it was a really nice excuse for another reread. And so the next one I finished was this wellbeing journal. As you can kind of see, I did put a lot of effort into these prompts journals during this time. I think it was just a really nice way to focus my energy on positive things. So I just finished this wellbeing journal. Again, this is just lots of little prompts, and pages that didn't have prompts, I would go through and find prompts from Pinterest. And then this is relatively boring. This was just a work notebook. And then I have this journal, which was from the Disney store. This is very weird. This is a metal kind of notebook, spiral bound, hard covered metal notebook. And basically I went through this and wrote down like history and facts about different Disney films. It looks really cool. I really love the design on the front. I didn't enjoy working in it because it gets really cold, which is never something you kind of expect to say. Okay, let me just pull over the last ones from this month. So one little one that I kind of completed is, oh, I've left some, there's gonna be more, is this little My Time pocket companion. This is so beat up because this lived in my backpack, and it's just lots of little puzzles and things to write about. And yeah, this was a gift from my, well, not a gift, it was a like free thing from uni. And then I have this little Scotland one. This basically just has some Gaelic words in it. At some point I'd like to learn Gaelic. It's not on my agenda at the moment, but I thought it was really cool to have those all documented. And then I also finished this journal. This is a blot journal. And in here I plan hypothetical trips to different countries, different places. You may have seen this in my most recent ongoing journal video. Basically this binder, I just keep kind of like free sample journals and stuff. And so some that I've completed, we've got one from Freedom Mastery, which is the 101 questions to ask yourself to build a successful 2020. And then also the My End Map 21 days free sample. So I've used both of those this year. I have been really lazy and left them in the plastic wallets, but they just live in that folder. And then this is another kind of boring-esque journal. This is just a bunch of training, and it's really fascinating for me, but yeah. And then this is a real excitement from this year. I finished my This Is Not a Book, which is a Kerry Smith book. similar to the Reckless journal. And I basically filled that out this year, so that's exciting and a lot of fun. And I've been working on that since 2011, so it feels really nice to be done. And then I finished How to Be Happy or at least Less Sad by Lee Crutchley. Again, is another prompt journal. I really enjoyed this. The only hard thing about doing these prompt journals during this time is quite often they encourage you to go out and do things, and obviously that wasn't quite an option for a lot of the time. And so this is another one that I finished. This used to be a stargazing notebook, and I basically turned it into a very basic book of shadows. There's a couple of different like spells and stuff in here, some different things. Some of them turned out super cute, so I'm quite happy with it. But yeah, I finished that. And then the final one that I finished in this last 6 months is this book journal. This is a little bit of a cheat really, because this book journal I kind of had stopped using. Actually, I think this book journal is even going to have come up in my blank journal collection, ongoing journal collection. I used it a couple of years ago and then decided to pick up a different one because I thought the different one was a little bit younger, so it made sense to go into that one. But I basically decided to kind of conclude this journal. So this journal had notes in it for ages, and what I did to conclude it is I kind of went through all my previous Goodreads reading challenges and just went through and documented all of those, which is super exciting and really nice to have that all gathered. So thank you for kind of bearing with me and looking through all my journals. It's been a fantastic year in terms of journaling. Like, if there's one positive, as hard as it is, that I can take from this whole pandemic, is how much time I've had to be creative and do my passion that maybe I wouldn't have had so much time for otherwise. So thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy. Though, you know the drill: like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, all that fun stuff.